Today is day 15 of the recovery, and as you can see, some of those steri strips have fallen off. Some are still hanging on. Those are impressive, man. Those look pretty good for being on there for a few days. But here's what the scar is looking like. I've got full range of motion at this point. Still have some swelling right there on the inside of the elbow, but everything's coming along well. Haven't started really any sort of PT, but I mean, it was pretty easy. I can grab like milk with this hand, like a full gallon of milk, and pour it. Pretty much have full functionality on my hand outside of any sort of like physical activity, which is great. We'll get into some like actual lifting, like lower half stuff in the next few days, but it's coming along. So we are 16 days out at this point from elbow surgery, and I can do dishes now, which is both good and bad, obviously. Now I have to do all my dishes. But I kind of view this as like, even though I haven't started like official PT, I really view like the getting back to normal, just like things that you do every day as part of PT, you know? So when I obviously right out of surgery, I couldn't do anything, couldn't wash dishes, couldn't grab anything, like couldn't cut food, couldn't do anything like that. But like all these things that like I slowly am able to do again really functions as step one of PT, you know, before you even get there. So I think that's really important that a lot of people overlook, is just doing PT is not just like, oh, I'm just at physical therapy for an hour and a half or whatever, and then I go home. It's like everything throughout the day, gradually getting back into doing exactly what your arm could do before. Today is day 19 after surgery, and it is my first one back in the gym. Now, obviously, I've got a huge amount of restrictions. I'm not gonna use my arm at all, or my right arm, like gripping of any sort. So I'll just do like some leg stuff. We'll start pretty light. You know, this is day one and it's been about 3 weeks, so I can't just go in and crush it, you know? So we'll go ahead and get some like back squats done, probably with a safety squat bar for a few sets. I'm also thinking like some single arm dumbbell snatches with my left arm instead of my right arm, just to kind of, you know, get movement, be athletic a little bit. Also, from not lifting or really doing anything other than just kind of sitting around, and because I'm just predisposed to it already, my T-spine and my neck are just really tight, starting to get some like headaches and problem sleeping and things like that. So I'll spend some time mobilizing those and getting those feeling a lot better. And I'm thinking that's it. Pretty easy getting back to it. I mean, I got a lot of time here before I can really start hitting it hard or really do anything with the arm. So kind of get into it, a nice little step one, and we'll see how it progresses from there as time goes on. So just finished my first set of squats at 225, just 225 or like a set of 6. Went to do the second, and my hamstrings have tightened up a huge amount. So I was planning on doing two sets of 6, you know, at 225, but that looks to be way above what I can do right now. So 2 options would be push through it or stop. I mean, I could like lower the intensity and add reps, but like ultimately that would be pushing through it because my hamstrings are like toast, which is not at all what I expected. Did not expect it to be that bad this fast. So we just got 1 set today, and then we'll slowly build up over time. Hamstring feels fine during the snatches, which is great. But man, have I lost some coordination. This feels freaking weird. I mean, I haven't done any sort of lifting in almost 3 weeks, but I didn't expect to lose like this much, you know? I just feel like a fish out of water type thing. But it'll just keep getting better and better, which is great. Excited to do it. Learning from my hamstring mistake earlier in the workout, just took the T-spine and neck stuff really light also, because the plan here is to slowly build up workload and not just like demolish myself on day one, even though it's much less than I expected to be doing. That's where my body is, so just accept it and build it up from there. So that's it for day one, back in the weight room. Super easy, and I'm ready to build this thing up, but obviously gonna take time so my body can handle it. So until next time. All right, day 2 of PT. Again, haven't touched anything with my arms yet. Literally just getting back into lifting with my legs. So I'm learning from my mistakes from last time because my hips and my knees were just not happy. I'm not very good at getting a lot of depth
My joint structure just like doesn't allow for it, and when I try and get depth or I try and lift for that purpose, like to make it look like a real squat, you know, I end up just having problems. So again, had hip problems, just some pain, you know, to go away with some time. But to account for that, I've got these bars set up today, so I'm not going to actually be able to go deep enough to make my hips hurt. Now, is it going to be a quote-unquote real squat? No. But I don't care, you know, that's not the point. The point of this is for me to train and for me to get better. It isn't for me to have a real squat. Having a real squat or a fake squat, it doesn't matter. The only reason I lift is for training, and the training is to make me better at baseball. So if I constantly piss off my hips and off my knees and end up injuring myself or decreasing performance or anything like that because of pissing those things off, then like I got worse, you know, what's the point? So setting these guys up, I'll have my nice little half squat or 3/4 squat or whatever you want to call it today. And we'll move from there. All right, squats went great. Obviously, hips and knees feel much better from not trying to push depth that I just don't have, you know. So instead of single arm dumbbell snatches today, I'll do a little bit heavier with like some kettlebell swings, and we'll move on from there. All right, and just like last time, gonna take some time, you know, to fix and at least see some improvement on the T-spine and on the neck mobility. So hammering away at that as well, and that's what we'll do next. In addition to today's like PT lift is going to be some laying leg raises. So the reason being, when I squat, I tend to get stuck into anterior pelvic tilt. So I get stuck in lumbar extension, and that has a bunch of problems for me. I end up getting a little more hip problems, and it's just a little bit painful to walk and things like that. So to get out of that, I just activate the muscles in the front. So my abs and doing some leg raises just basically puts me back in a neutral posture, and I'm good to go. So pretty easy fix. So I'll just add those in here at the end and we'll be good to go. And that's it for today. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty quick. Excited to just keep building volume and intensity as we go on. Day 23 post-op. Same thing for today's lift as the past two lifts. We're gonna progress into back squats, then we'll move to some sort of like Olympic lift or kettlebell swing or something like that. So I haven't fully decided what we'll do there. And then I'll stretch my neck out. I'll traction my low back. We'll go to leg raises. We'll call it good. We'll see what next week brings us. All right, squats went great, which is a huge development from earlier this week when I cramped at 225. So 275, obviously depth is a little bit limited, so just went with what I could do there. Added an extra set because my legs are feeling good. And then this next part, I'm gonna go on to like a single arm high pull. So I've actually never done this, kind of just realize it's probably a good idea because I'm reaching the end of what we have or what I'm kind of comfortable with in terms of kettlebell swings or single arm dumbbell snatches. So, do like a single arm high pull, probably add a strap to it. We'll definitely add a strap to it so I can keep it in my hand, and we'll see how that goes for next exercise. So my legs are actually feeling really good today. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in some like dedicated hamstring work with like some glute ham eccentrics. Normally, well, I was planning on waiting like maybe till next week or the week after because my hamstrings cramped on Monday or on Tuesday, but like it feels good, man. You know, it feels really good. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, then we'll go ahead and finish this whole lift off with some leg raises and then some tractioning on my lower back and then some stretching on my neck. We'll be good to go. And that is week one of PT for me. Super easy. Basically, I'm just gonna continue to build up intensity and volume. And then in a week or two, I'll probably reevaluate when I wanna start using my hand. Because I'll start using it somewhere between 3 and 6 weeks post-op, which is, you know, well, that's where we're at right now. So I'll reevaluate in about a week and we'll see what goes from there. But that's about it, you know, super easy. Just get the legs moving again, build back into it, and just take no large jumps in terms of volume or intensity, and just gradually build my way back up. And that's how you do it healthy and get yourself back to where you want to be.